Morning, Noisettes. So, how's your week been? We've really enjoyed reading your comments on our YouTube channel and in our Facebook group this week about how our last week's reading was relevant to you. If you missed it, don't worry, the link will appear on your screen now and also at the end of the video, and there's a link in the video description too. Keep your comments coming, we love reading them, and remember to share us with your mates. So let's see what we've got for the week ahead. So we have, from the Major Arcana, the Wild Hunt. Okay. We have, another Major Arcana card. This one is number 13, the Lord of Shadows. And finally, oh wow, 3 Major Arcana cards. It's not every day that we see that happen. So this is the card with no number, 0, the Greenman. So what's it all about? Okay, well, let's start with number 16, the Wild Hunt. This is sometimes known as the Tower. You'd better hold on because it's going to be a bumpy ride. This card is all about sudden or unexpected change or some kind of shocking event. It's likely to be something major, some sort of crisis, which is going to completely knock you for 6. I know what you're thinking, as if we haven't been through enough already over the past few weeks, right? Yes, agreed. It's not been pleasant of late, has it? But once the work of the Wild Hunt is over, we'll be left feeling stronger. There's not a lot we can do to protect ourselves during this period. We literally have to ride the storm out. But once it's over, we can start to rebuild our lives and to build them the way that we truly want them to be. This is a fantastic opportunity to start over. Sometimes we find ourselves taking the easy route and putting up with things just because it's too much trouble or too emotionally difficult to take the steps needed to make the necessary changes. But now we have the perfect opportunity to put the past completely behind us and make a fresh start. We're going to need to be courageous, but we should remember that this card shows that we are being protected during this time. So the next card that I'd like to look at then is number 13, the Lord of Shadows, sometimes known as the Death card. This confirms the idea that there is change coming. Again, it speaks of sudden and unexpected change, but reminds us that with major change comes new opportunities. We have to let go of negative thoughts and feelings in order to enable ourselves to move forwards and make the most of those opportunities. There's nothing to fear whatsoever from the Lord of Shadows, since it reminds us that negative situations can be turned into positive ones and pessimism turned to optimism. Old situations come to an end so that we can then move on to new, more satisfying solutions. We can see the transition of time through these 3 cards, starting with the Wild Hunt, which represents the darkness caused by the event itself, followed by a shift towards light with the Lord of Shadows, and finally out into the warmth of the sun with the Greenman, sometimes known as the Fool. This card urges us to set off on our new journey full of enthusiasm, full of excitement. It's about trying things we haven't had the courage to try before, taking that leap of faith into the unknown and accepting whatever opportunities come our way. It's only when we throw ourselves into life and live every single day as if it's the last that we can really start to feel alive. So be adventurous, grab life by the horns and really go for it, but take care not to be too reckless, as there are always consequences to our actions. Well, it's not what we were hoping for exactly, is it? But it's not all bad. It looks as though that period of change that we've been going through of late isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. And perhaps the most destructive change of all is yet to come. Easier said than done, I know, but try not to worry, as we're well protected and it will all be for the greater good in the end. Stay positive and stay strong, Noisettes. We're all in this together. If you want to chat to others about this reading, feel free to join our Facebook group or leave your comments below. You can find the group link in the video description. Join us again for another reading next Monday, and in the meantime, have a really great week.